Welcome to EnVision Center News, where we discuss community impact and involvement with today's nonprofit leaders and philanthropists. All right, welcome to today's show. I'm here with guest Mickaelin from Second Chances up in Bonners Ferry. You guys are a second chance animal adoption?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, why don't you tell me exactly what Second Chances is all about? You can tell me about the name, the origin, when you came to be, etc.
Right. So Second Chance Animal Adoption, it was originally founded by a group of women in 1998. And they realized how many stray dogs were unfortunately having to be euthanized by the county just because there were so many and no place to house them. So they decided that was unacceptable because these were really good dogs, really adoptable. So I know some of the women had their husbands help build shelters for the dogs, and they'd go and volunteer, make sure they had water, and it kind of grew from there. And so kind of our main mission is, we want to care for animals in our community that have either been, abandoned or they were astray that nobody ever came and picked up. And then we also try and help out if we have a stray get brought into our facility. We do what we can to hopefully get it back home to its owner. So,
nice. Yeah. How often are they successfully connected with their owners?
I think we've been pretty successful. This past year, we had a lot of return to owners. So we've been a lot better at that, I think.
Yeah, people know where to look.
Yeah, we usually say we're the first place you should call, and I think people are starting to do that more now, which is good.
Very aware of who you are in the community. So one of the other ways that they might know about you is because of the thrift store that's attached to the animal shelter?
Right, yes.
Cool. And so is that what funds you guys, or how are you guys funded to be able to have staff and keep all of these animals in care?
Right, yeah. So we are a nonprofit, so a good majority of our funds comes from the thrift store and then also from donors as well. So yeah, most of it is just nonprofit and people just being generous with giving money to us, so we've been pretty blessed with that.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, are you full-time at the shelter?
I am, yes.
Yeah, I mean, to pay a full-time salary is pretty incredible, I would say. Very generous community up there. Excellent. So we had talked a little bit off camera just about how many animals you're able to keep in care, and you want to explain a little bit about that to our listeners?
Yeah, so with our cats, we do have a smaller cat room than most other places. We're a much smaller facility, which in a lot of ways is nice because we can spend more time with the animals. They get a lot more socialized with our volunteers and employees. But typically our cat room, we only can house 10 cats at a time. So usually it's really helpful when we have fosters who can take a group of kittens if they get brought in. So having fosters really helps kind of expand the walls of Second Chance.
Yeah, absolutely. How many of those foster families do you guys have in your back pocket?
Yeah, right now we do not have a lot. That's something we're trying to advertise more to get, is to have fosters on call in case we do have kittens. And even we have dogs sometimes that would benefit from being in foster. So that's definitely a need of ours.
Yeah. And how many dogs did you say you guys are able to take?
So right now, let me think. I have to imagine all my kennels in my head. I believe we have 12 kennels altogether, and right now we have 4 at the facility currently, and then 2 in foster.
Awesome. Wow. Okay. So say people want to get involved with your organization. They can donate to keep your guys' stores open. They can volunteer by walking animals or being a host family for folks. Tell me a little bit about how people might want to get involved.
Yeah, so typically, we have, volunteer applications, foster applications. So if you were interested in becoming a volunteer either in our thrift store or over in the shelter, we'd have you fill out that application and I would submit it to our board of directors. And if you were approved, we'd give you a call and then we can kind of work out what exactly it is you're wanting to do. That kind of works the same with the foster application as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. Do you guys have any events or do any fundraising in that regard?
Yeah, so on May 24th, we are going to be hosting a microchip clinic at the Tractor Supply in Bonners Ferry. We're trying to kind of educate the community more on microchips. It's, if I have a dog come into the shelter and they have a microchip, I can scan it and it's a lot quicker to get in contact with the owner because they'll have, your name and the phone number. And so it really just makes that process a whole lot easier and gets the dog home way quicker. So that is a program we're really looking forward to and hopefully getting more dogs microchipped microchipped, just to kind of, if they do get out, we can get them home so much quicker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like total peace of mind. Your dog's out in the woods with you and they get off leash.
Right,
And
yeah,
they're
that
out and
happens.
about and you're like, oh, no. And you look for them for 3 hours and then you're like, I don't know. Hopefully they have been chipped and they get brought home. Yeah. So how about you? How did you get involved in the animal shelter?
Well, I think, it kind of started with, I've always grown up with animals. My mom and dad are both huge animal lovers. So that was always instilled in me at a very young age. And before I started working at Second Chance, I was kind of taking a break. I had moved back here after living in California for some time, and I kind of just needed some time off to figure it out. And I originally was just going to volunteer at Second Chance. Second Chance had a booth at the Boundary County Fair, and I actually somehow got a cat that way because the volunteer had a cat she was trying to get adopted, and we ended up adopting it. And so, I originally was going to volunteer, and then she said, well, we also have a job opening. Would you be interested? And I was like, yeah, sure. Not really knowing what I was signing up for, but ended up being a really good job. So
fantastic. Yeah. Did you have any nonprofit background or animal background before this? Just
no,
besides being a lover?
Nope.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
been a bit of a learning curve for sure, but it's definitely learned a lot.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your organization structure in terms of how many board members you have and staff members are there?
Yeah, so our board, there always needs to be at least 5. There can be between 5 and 11. As an employee, I don't know a whole lot about like the ins and outs, but they have a president, a vice president, and a treasurer, and so each kind of has their own job.
Yep. And they're heavily involved in the organization and your vision for moving forward. And how many of you guys are on staff?
So I have to kind of think here. I believe we have at least 5 paid employees, and then a lot of volunteers will come into both the thrift store and the animal shelter.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would imagine the volunteer game is huge for you guys.
Yeah, it is.
Keeping your mission going forward. Yeah, fantastic. So what are some of the things that you guys have coming up? You have the microchipping on May 24th, was
Yes.
that?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, so that's exciting. That's happening at the Tractor Supply. What else do you guys do? Do you do anything at the county fair?
Yeah, that is. We're going to have some sort of presence at the Boundary County Fair this year, whether that be a booth or something else. That is something we're planning on doing, so that should be a lot of fun.
Nice. And do you guys ever tie into our animal clinics down here or shelters in Standpoint?
We're usually separate from them. They will kind of help us out a lot, though, because up in Bonners Ferry, I feel like there's not a whole lot of resources. So sometimes if I have people call, needing help with a dog or a cat and we're unable to, I can refer them to Better Together Animal Alliance. So they've been really helpful in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. And is this chipping event that's happening on the 24th, is that free to people or is that a paid service that they will be paying for?
We are still trying to figure out like how exactly we want people to pay for it. We are kind of leaning towards just asking people to give a donation. Just that makes it a little bit easier and then also kind of helps us out. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is great. Is there anything else that you'd love our listeners to hear from you about?
Well, I just would say, if you want to get more involved, we have a Facebook page, we have a website. You can find like all of our adoptable pets on there. All the applications are there. So, yeah, if you want to get involved, please reach out. We'd love to have you. We definitely need more people involved to keep Second Chance going. So, yeah.
Do you have any sales pitches on any of the cute little critters that you have in your care right now?
Oh gosh, I have. They're all really good. I mean, we have pretty sure he might be a full-bred yellow lab named Chance. And, he's about, it's hard because he's a stray, but we think he's probably about 2 or 3 years old. And he is just like so goofy. He's so sweet. We joke like he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but he loves to play ball. I think he'd be a great family dog for somebody, just needs a little bit extra training. So, yeah, definitely check him out.
Cute. Yeah. High energy family.
Yeah, definitely high energy.
Any lab, really. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so this is fantastic. I'm so excited to learn a little bit more about you guys and to know what you're doing up there. And happy that we've made a connection. I hope that someday that we can be of service to you guys or help amplify your message and help you get some volunteers out there. And so please reach out to us anytime you need anything. We'd love to help plug you in any way we can.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be really helpful.
Cool. Okay. Well, thanks for coming on the air. What is your guys' website? How do we get a hold of you?
I believe it is just, Second Chance Animal Adoption ID, or I think, is the website. So you should be able to go on there and find us pretty easily.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thanks for listening to today's episode. For more information, you can go to crecIdaho.com. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you again soon.